let's just face the facts, okay? Most of us, including you, are bullshitting when it comes to how well we say we're taking care of ourselves. I'm just saying. It's another midweek mindset check-in with your girl Demetra Joe, okay? And you know we're all about our health and well-being over here. And I like to do these midweek mindset check-ins because, well, we still got a little week left. So if you haven't set any wellness goals, then you still got a couple of days to do that. You can kind of boost your self-care practices, okay? Because I don't care what anybody says. If you're not paying attention to your self-care practices, I mean, what are you doing? You have to be okay enough to go and do any of the other things that you're going to go plan and do, right? So I was thinking, when I was traveling this weekend, you know, I had to go to the airport, and in the airport you could do a lot of people watching, okay? And one of the things that stood out to me was how many people who had trouble walking were gonna get on my flight. Now, I realized some people just use those, you know, the airport wheelchairs nefariously, and they may not really need them, but these people all look like they actually needed the wheelchairs, okay? And then the airport employee was like going around asking some of the people on the flight who wanted to get on the flight early if you help push the people in the wheelchairs down the aisle, down the whatever you call that thing, the vestibule, I don't know. You push them, you can, if you agree to do that, then you can board early, okay? And I just thought that was so funny how he was out there trying to delegate his job or whatever, because he had so many people and it wasn't enough of the airport help. Okay, so he did what he had to do. Shout out to him. But the thing that stood out to me was that I counted 15 wheelchairs, 15 people in a wheelchair, and the majority of those people were older people, right? So have you ever thought about what kind of older person are you going to be? Because you could pretty much look at your habits now to see what kind of older person you may end up being. So I know it sounds crazy, but think about it, because whatever, like today is a day that you kind of planned for back in the day. Whatever you did got you to this point, and it's going to be the same thing as we get older. Okay, now I feel like I want to be one of those older people that, you know, I'm going to still have high level energy. I'm going to be, you know, working out and stuff like that. That is what I want to do. So that is why I incorporate those things in my habits now, okay? Because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait to do that, all right? So, you know, I just wanted to know if y'all thought about that. Because there's a lot of people who have been about to start something for like weeks and months and years, right? And the reality of it is, if you haven't started it yet, you're probably bullshitting, all right? Because you could probably look in your phone and see how much screen time you spending on something else. Like, you probably scroll before you have actually finished your morning routine. Or if you have a morning routine, you probably end up on your phone before you finish taking care of your basic needs, some people, right? So, you know, I just want to kind of be real about it, because if you're not practicing it now, what kind of older person do you see yourself being? All right, that's a real live question, and you just have to be real with yourself and say it's not because you don't have time that you haven't started your workout regimen. It's not because, you know, you don't have the resources that you don't eat right, or, you know, whatever that wellness goal may be. You just got to start. You just got to start. If you haven't started, it's because you're bullshitting. I'm just saying. You know, obviously, I only know that because I once was a bullshitter as well. I'm just here to just keep it all the way real with you guys, all right? Now, I'm just going to give you a few types of older people that you can become, right? You can be the self-care advocate, right? The person who prioritizes self-care so that they can be there for everybody that needs them and things that they want to do, right? That person's obviously going to be, you probably have some in your family, right? You probably have some older people in your family that have more energy than you, all right? That's the self-care advocate, all right? And then you have the workaholic, the person who prioritizes work. Now, they may have made a buku amount of money, some doctors, some lawyers, or, you know, some other professions or whatever, but now they have a bunch of health issues because the thing that they prioritized was not themselves, right? Okay, and then you also have this other one. I love this one because if I could catch some of these people early in their life, then they can have a better life. Okay, these people are our caregivers, our caretakers. They sacrifice a lot and put a lot before themselves. Actually, they're putting other people before themselves, right? If I could get some of those people to prioritize their self-care, then I've done my job, okay? But there's so many more different types of people you can become as you get older, but you have to start thinking about what kind of habits do you employ now? What are you doing right now? Like, what is it that you're doing? What kind of habits do you have right now? What kind of seeds are you planting for your future self right now? Like, as far as well-being, right? That's what I want to know. What are you prioritizing today? Like, what's on your list of priorities, right? Is it somebody else? Is it some other thing, right? Do you have any wellness things on your list? I like to include self-care every day. All right, I wake up, I have a morning routine that I do not start my day without. You know what I mean? Just like you got to brush your teeth, take a shower, wash your face, and all of that. My self-care routine is in the, you know, it's in the morning before I do everything else. Like, and it's incorporated in my self-maintenance, but before I start work, I've already touched something physically, spiritually, emotional, and mentally, just to make sure that I feel good, because your overall well-being affects the way you think, the way you feel, the choices you might make, all of that. All right. So some of the most simplest ways to incorporate self-care on a daily basis is, one, hydration, right? You got to drink water. You could just focus on, you know, getting your water in all day. That's an act of self-care. All right. Eating healthy is an act of self-care. Okay. Moving your body. You could take a walk. All right. And when I say take a walk, it doesn't even have to be a long walk. If you consistently take a short walk, you're going to see results for that as well. It's going to give you results physically and mentally. Okay. 5-10 minute walks work as well. Setting goals, all right, that helps you mentally as well, because sometimes it makes you feel like you got everything together when you get it down on paper and you set some goals. All right, getting enough sleep. Now, I know there are a lot of people that's like, oh, sleep when you die, and no, that is not the camp that we come from. I get it, but there is something game changing about getting a good night's sleep on a regular basis. Now, I used to be one of those people that, you know, I just stayed up late. I didn't like to get up early, because I felt like, why am I getting up that early, right? And then I would stay up late. And then I got into a situation where I had to get up early to go to work, but then I still wanted to stay up late. And so I was very sleep deprived, all right? Now, I didn't do anything crazy because of it, make any crazy decisions, but who knows how that affected my thought process, right? Had I had a good night's sleep, a lot of my days might have gone differently. Who knows? But getting enough sleep is, you know, is vital. You can a lot of stuff can happen due to a lack of sleep. So you know, if you're one of those people that don't like to get sleep, or you feel like you can't get sleep because of your schedule or whatever, I implore you to try to see where you can get in some more sleep. All right. But those are just some things that you can do daily to get in more self-care. I recommend having a morning routine where you hit all the points that you need to hit for yourself before you start serving everybody else. That's just my recommendation. Now, I don't understand why people are not including more self-care, because the results are crazy, right? Everybody wants to prevent burnout. Everybody wants to manage their stress better or have less stress, right? And everybody would benefit from an increased amount of energy. So those are the kind of things that you could get if you practice a consistent self-care routine. And when I say self-care, we're talking physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We're not talking brunch. We're not talking getting your nails done or none of that stuff, right? That comes into play, but at the very beginning, it needs to be you taking care of you physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. What are you feeding yourself in those ways before you do anything else? Like, you should not even be scrolling before you have taken care of those things. Like, you don't know what you're gonna see when you pick up that phone. Why would you not prepare yourself? I don't know. So all I'm saying, for this midweek mindset check-in, I just need to encourage you guys to start to prioritize your self-care physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, that's all I'm asking. So I got a couple of questions that I want to ask you. Now, you can feel free to drop in the comments below and answer any of these, but I just got a few questions that I just want to put out there and for you to answer on your own. Maybe they could be journal prompts. Maybe they could just be questions that you answer in silence and nobody else hears the answer. But I feel like these are very helpful questions to getting to the root of why you haven't started prioritizing self-care. What do you do first thing in the morning? What's that first hour like? Is it you rushing around? Is it you smoothly moving around because you intentionally set up your morning routine in your day? Like, how is it? What's that morning look like? Right? And if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I got a crazy morning, What can you do the night before? Because your morning starts the night before. What can you do the night before to set yourself up for success in the morning? All right, like for real. For real. What area of your life could use some attention? Okay. How can you fit some self-care in today? Still got a lot of today left, and there's also a little bit of week left. So how can you fit in some self-care today? What was your last meal? Better yet, what was your last full meal? What was your last full meal? I'm not talking about eating on the go. What was your last full meal? Are you hydrated? How much water have you drank today? How much exercise have you had this week? All right, the purpose of these questions is so that if you haven't done anything, now you can make a plan to do something, okay? You got to check in regularly with yourself, and I feel like these midweek mindset check-ins help do just that, because sometimes we got to jog our memory and be like, wait a minute, we still focus on our priorities or not? And I'm all about a professional goal, but we're not going to be able to complete none of those professional goals if our well-being goals aren't being set and met, all right? So, for my ladies that are over 40 that want, inspiration on, maintaining a consistent workout routine or consistent self-care routine, because I feel like workout goes right along in that self-care routine, right? If you need help, just understanding how to be consistent, what consistency actually looks like when you're trying to develop a new habit. If you need help transforming habits, like I said, ladies over 40, all right? You can join my Facebook group and we can get it popping, okay? Because I like to post stuff in there, and I like to talk about all things well-being. It might be a little bit of funny things in there, but there's definitely room for discussion, and I'm open for whatever it is that you want to bring to the group. So you just have to be a woman over 40, all right? But that is all I got for y'all today in this midweek mindset check-in, all right? We're going to see you next week in the midweek mindset check-in. And I don't want to hear the same answers that we heard today, that you ain't setting no wellness goals. All right, we're not doing that. Back in the day, they used to, what did I say in the beginning? Bojangling, politicking, basically bullshitting. Okay, we got to stop bullshitting, me included. All right, that's why I'm leaving this video. Get in the comments below. Let me know. I'm your girl, Demeanor Joe.
Who is the master? There is one place that you have not looked, and it is there, only there, that you shall find the master. All right, Leroy, who's the one and only master?
Fine, whatever.